What's up, everybody? Today on Grill Slingers, we're gonna show you how you can dry age a tri-tip. Like this. Coming in 3, 2, 1, go. So dry aging is a fairly straightforward process that's gotten immensely popular over the last couple years. What you're essentially doing is taking a steak or a cut of meat and you are trying to remove moisture and create a pellicle around that meat. A pellicle is like almost like a crust. Pellicle. It also sounds like a bicycle, right? Peloton. Prior to eating it, you're gonna trim away that pellicle and it creates this super tender, really fast cooking cut of meat that is just packed full of umami flavor. What we're gonna do today is try it out on a tri-tip. So I've never had a dry aged tri-tip before, I've never seen one, and we're just gonna make it happen. So first we'll need a tri-tip. And we've got one here that's defrosted. Ooh, yeah. Now the first important thing when you're going to dry age a piece of meat is it has to be dry when it goes into whatever medium you're going to dry age it into. We are going to be using a dry aging bag. If you're doing a dry age in a cellar, you just want to make sure that it is 100% dry before you put it in. So we're going to pat it dry with some paper towels. We're not worried about trimming off any fat here at this point, because that will happen before you end up cooking it. The dry aging process can take anywhere from 21 days. I've seen it go up to 45. There's even some folks out there that go even crazier than that. We're just doing a 4-week process here. I'm gonna put this aside for right now. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna bust out our vacuum sealer and our dry aging bags. So these dry aging bags are from a company called Umai. This basically is a membrane that separates your steak from wherever you're gonna be dry aging it. And this is specifically made to work in just your home refrigerator. Something that's gonna be open and closed so it has plenty of airflow. It's only gonna let moisture escape. It's not gonna let anything in. So we're gonna go ahead and get one of these bags out. So you can find these on Amazon. We'll drop a link down in the description below. It comes in different sizes, so just pick whichever one you think will fit best for what you're doing. With a tri-tip, you don't need a huge bag. If you're doing like a ribeye roll or anything like that, you'll want a larger bag. You can even do a brisket with these. The first thing we want to do is curl back the edges here. We don't want anything to hit the outside of the meat. All right, so we're gonna grab our tri-tip here. Very important you do this with a gloved hand or recently washed, because you don't want any of the germs that are just out and about getting in here. Get this into the bag. I should probably do it the other way around. Struggling down into the bag. You can now drop it down on the surface, and we can wrap this back up. Okay. So, if you want to know the specific instructions on how to get this bag sealed, Umai does have the instructions on the link when you buy it. But the basic part is they have this little applicator here that we need to tear off. This has to be sealed on the edge of the bag. Trim off a little excess of the bag here. So what you're actually going to do is you're going to take your little foamy applicator guy here. You want to figure out how much space you need to just have that be the opening. We want to make an angle for everything else. Say that's good right about there. You only want this amount of space open. You don't want the whole thing across. So first we're going to not vacuum seal. We're just going to seal here. Da 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 da. Seal. Baby. No. I can barely do it. No. No one's gonna sing it with me. Okay. All right. Cool. One. You got to do it twice per their directions, but you don't want to do it on the same one. Otherwise, it's just gonna rip. Seal. There used to be a million hours alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. You remains. So a little foamy guy is gonna go right in here, like that. We are going to put the lip of the bag into the vacuum sealer, trying to keep our little, what do they even call this thing? Can you grab the instructions? You think I remember because I've already done this. Back mouse. Yeah, we're just gonna call it the foamy thing. And we're going to do vacuum seal. Should have squeezed more air out of this first.
Did it feel?
No, I stopped it.
Because you weren't singing the song.
Baby, baby, baby. All right, we are going to put a start date. Okay, so that'll get us for 28 days. This can go in the fridge. You want to put it on a rack, and you specifically want it to be fat tied up. This tri-tip's pretty aggressively trimmed, so there's not a ton of fat on it, but it goes into the fridge for 4 weeks. Standard baking rack, steel rack works best. So this is the rack that I would probably recommend. It's just a standard cooling rack. You can use baking steel. Doesn't really matter as long as it's elevated in your fridge and you follow the directions that the bag gives you. You should have no problem at all. We're gonna stand right here for 4 weeks until our tri-tip's ready. Welcome back. It's been 4 weeks. I got really cold out here and I'm really hungry. So we're gonna go ahead and get our tri-tip on set. So this is what it looks like when you're done. And we're gonna basically get this thing out of the bag, trim it up, throw it on our charcoal grill, and enjoy. First thing, obviously cut open the bag. And you may be thinking to yourself, "It just looks like rotted meat." I mean, it kinda is. So the first step, once you got this thing out of your dry age bag, we have to remove the pellicle off of the whole thing. So you can see the difference on what we're left with on here with the tri-tip versus what we had to actually trim off. You're left with a lot less, but the thing is all the flavor is going to be concentrated in here that this imparted. So we're going to get this off the board, and then we're going to lightly season this with our Cali Gold rub, which is mainly a salt and pepper rub, and then we'll get our charcoal grill fired up with the full chimney. All right, so our kettle is at temperature. We're going to take this, we are going to hard sear it on both sides for just a few minutes, and then we're gonna move it off to the other side of the grill. Until it's finished, we're looking for a final internal temperature before we pull it off of 135, because it's going to increase in temperature a little bit. We're looking for that medium rare finish. Here we go. Just like any steak cook, we're gonna let this rest for about 15 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and slice and serve, and we'll see how it came out. Barbecue court's in session. Cool, we're done waiting. It is time to slice and serve. This side's a little more well done. There we go, cheers. A little bit of that table sauce. Dude, I didn't even slice it the right way, and that's the most tender tri-tip I've ever had in my life. That is stupid. This is super tender. The dry aging gives it this like super rich, like nutty, rich beef flavor. If you're not a dry age fan, I'm sorry, this is superior. There's nothing better than this. And I got to do it myself, which is even better, and now you can do it too. Like, subscribe, notification bell, do all that shit. I don't care. I'm gonna eat this. This is delicious.